Welcome to the practices of Earth Salutation. Earth Salutation is a very special set of practices. We've all heard a lot about Sun Salutation, which is very popular, and then came the Moon Salutation. But when you realize that Earth is where all the energy comes down to, for example, Sun gives the energy, and it filters through the atmosphere and comes down into the earth. And we're glad that there's a lot of filtration happening in the layers up higher in the ozone and all the various layers. Because if the sun were to directly shine on the earth with the power that it has, there will be too much heat and there will be no life on earth. On the other side, what is happening is because of these layers and layers of atmosphere that it comes down through, that only about 11 to 12% of earth energy, sun energy gets absorbed by the earth. Only that much. But that much is enough for the entire world to survive. Now, the counterpart is also true, that if all that energy was not filtered like that, if the sun was to shine 1 hour only on the earth with its full potential energy that is there, it will supply the energy resources for the entire world for a whole year. That's how much power is there on the sun. However, what happens is, because of this, the earth gets to receive the proper amount of heat, proper amount of rays, all the various rays, the light rays that we're talking about, the light and the heat, both things. And the Mother Earth is one, which then gets transformed, the energy gets transformed into various aspects. And then as we do the practices, the importance of various steps and various practices becomes very clear. For example, when we begin, the first step is we realize that when the earth was born, the water actually came from outside. Some meteor brought the water onto the earth. The earth did not have the atmosphere to have the oxygen at that point. That came a little bit later. But then the oceans were formed. So the first practice is ocean breath. What we do is we stand in the Tai Chi posture, with the knees slightly flexed, completely grounded. Grounding is one of the most important things that we do in Earth Salutation. And once we stand in that posture, we just open up in the usual fashion, open up to gather and create a chi ball. And once we have the chi ball, which we practice with, we do the inhalation and exhalation. First, we'll do simple inhalation and exhalation twice. Once to set up, second to move forward. And then comes the ocean breath. The ocean breath is also called Ujjayi breath or cave breath. As we know how we do this. Inhale. 3 steps to that. If I'm going to fog a mirror, I'll inhale through the nose. That's the fogging of the mirror. And the sound is created in the back of the throat. Step 1, we practice that. Step 2 is keep the mouth closed. Inhale through the nose and you hear the noise in the back of the throat. We are exhaling also through the nose. So the step 2 of learning this Ujjayi breath or the ocean breath is we hear the noise back of the throat, exhalation, mouth is closed. The third step is when inhalation also sucks in the air through the nostrils. For example, It's almost like you are making a little pinching the nose. Very often you don't have to do that, but that's the two steps. It's almost like Darth Vader type of breathing, or the cave breathing. The advantage of this breath, obviously, is the fact that we create a lot of energy. It traps the extra oxygen, gives extra timing for it, for exchange. That causes the resistance increase on the inhalation and the resistance increase on the exhalation as well. Creates more nitric oxide and so on and so forth. A lot of good stuff that happens. So what we do with that is do the ocean breath with our hand movements. Inhale and exhale. This time we exhale completely. Go all the way down and touch the Mother Earth as much as you can. This is the first step of ocean breath. So we do one ocean breath. Now coming up, because what we are gathering is the energy from the earth. So let me do this one more time. Inhale. Now we gather the energy from Mother Earth and bring it up. As you inhale, 3 levels. Lower dantian. Continue inhaling. Heart. And the top of the head. And then exhale. Let's do one more time ocean breath. Inhale, absorb the earth energy, the yin coming up. Three dantians, 3 stops of inhalation. And we repeat this the 3rd time also. Inhale. Step 1 of earth salutation. Next step we do is balancing, and all of these are mantras, and I'll write down these mantras and I'll send to you. But the second is to balance whatever the energy is now centralized. We got it from the heavens as we inhale, got it from the earth, and the 2 yin and the yang now is balanced. So what we do is we create the chi ball and posture again. Check your posture. Inhale and hold. This is called the Devi Mudra. Devi Mudra is the goddess posture. The posture is, what we do is we basically put our hands, you can put our hands on the head like this first, so that the 2 sides of the brain are balanced, but then bring them out like this to the ear and gradually spread the hands apart. And the shoulders are right angles, and gradually make the elbows right angles also. Inhale and exhale. So this is a very gradual process. First start with the head, on the top of the head, go down to the ear, and then the shoulders are right angles, and open up the elbows right angle. And inhale and exhale. 3 nice breaths. This is balancing the 2 sides of the brain, the right side being creative, the left being solution oriented. We are aware of these practices of right and left brain. The 3rd step is a transition right from this. As you adjust your posture, turn on one side. This is a warrior pose. Turn on one side. That side, the palm is down. You're looking at the tip of the middle finger. The other side, the palm is up. And adjust your posture so that your hands are all the way out completely, 180 degrees. And then bend your knee towards the hand which is down. Now the other foot is facing forward. One foot which is to the right, and on my right, is facing the right side. This is warrior pose. The warrior gets ready by receiving both the yin and the yang. I'm receiving yang with my left hand from above, and my body is getting ready, transmitting the yang, and I'm receiving the yin from the right hand. The earth up. Inhale and exhale 3 times. Hold the posture for 3 breaths. Now comes the transition. Transition done in a Tai Chi fashion. Start turning in front, crossing the hand, start turning the feet, and the transition goes to the opposite side. And now the left hand is down, the right palm is up, left knee is bent. Adjust the shoulders, adjust the back. Hold that posture and feel the energy flow. Inhale and exhale 3 times. Now that we are becoming almost like a ball of energy from yin and yang, our entire body, if you just imagine me standing in a big circle, or I'm the only one standing on the earth. Imagine that you're standing alone on the top of the earth. There is nobody else. And you are balancing the whole universe. That is the warrior pose. Now what happens is, now we gather the ball of energy and do warrior 2. Where gradually you turn to one side and lift up the ball, and the back heel comes off, stretch the hand up, bend as backward as you can, and look up into the sky. Hold that pose. This is warrior 2. We switch the side, slowly come down, bring the ball around, into front. Almost always the energy is moving around in near our body, near the heart. Lift up the back heel and bend and stretch back as possible. We have created a wonderful energy, the ocean and the earth. And that leads to the next pose, which goes to the nature part of it. And that's the tree posture. The tree, as we know, the first growth of tree happened within the ocean. So we can do if there are small ocean waves that come, and the algae that are moving around a little bit in the ocean. It's like a spontaneous qigong where the waves come and algae and some planktons, they call it planktons, within the ocean. They're just moving around slowly. Inhale and exhale. Just feel the waves coming from different directions. As you start swaying, and this is the most primitive form of life that began in the ocean. You can feel some fish or crustaceans floating around you. spend some time in this experience. And from there comes the actual tree on the surface of the earth. And that leads us to the tree posture. Tree posture, the way we develop tree posture, the balance, is drag your foot in the front, support the one foot on the ankle, then gradually raise up and go up and support to the other side and raise up. Balance yourself. You can go sideways if you can do this. That's the tree posture. Hold the tree posture as much as you can. Step out and do the other side. Keep the support. Raise up. Lock the knee. Lock the knee, and that will be the best way to support yourself. And then gradually get the knee out and straighten up the hand on as much as you can. Hold that tree posture as long as you can. Then step out and come down. What happens to the tree? The tree starts having, there are some storms that come in. And the storm is where you develop more balance. So this particularly is more advanced step for the earth salutation, where we develop the tree posture. But then there are some waves that come in. And the waves make it, there are storms. The storms come in the upper part of the body, you see how that happens, and you're moving around, but you are still stable. And that is a slightly more advanced posture where we stabilize ourselves. Even though we are moving up, we stabilize. Now, the growth of the tree is the next step, and that happens in a very beautiful way. Open up the step, and from the roots, bend down, and the roots come up to the stem. Inhale, exhale, and then spread it out like the tree top and the huge expanse of the tree with leaves on both sides and coming back down. Get the inhalation and exhalation going, but this is the expansion of the tree. Trees are very essential to life. Without the tree, there is no life. And so the tree gives rise to the flowers, the fruits, the entire plant kingdom feeds the entire animal kingdom. Plants are the only ones which create food. Animals cannot create food. The plant creates carbohydrates, proteins, the oil, the fat, and the minerals come from the earth. And therefore, this is the tree of life. And this practice, one can do Qigong practice here, where you rise up, rise your heel, and come down. This can be extended into a real fine Qigong practice. And the fruits. The next step involves the fruits. And the fruits we spread out and offer to the world. This is where we have gratitude. The trees have gratitude for just growing their fruit. They don't ask any price for the fruit. They just give it out. They give shade, they give fruits. And so this is the offering part, where we create the energy ball and then go around and then turn your palms up and offer. Offer, circle around all the way, as full a circle as possible, all the way to the back. Inhale and exhale. Continue offering. This is the offering, and then you may turn your feet in this one so that you can complete the circle. Very meditative offering to the world in gratitude. You may also turn the palm down and you may sow the seeds. Some more seeds are being sown. Then you can do that. And then gather all that energy coming from the reflection of gratitude and bring it to the heart. The trees stand tall. The trees stand firm in all the tempests and all kinds of storms that we talked about. But then the strongest place that we see on the earth is represented by the mountains. So we are all having a journey of the earth from the ocean onto the trees and not the mountain. So the next one is the mountain pose, where first stand straight, and as you open up, bend your knee and raise the shoulder right angles, both and everything right angles. Relax the neck and inhale and exhale. Stand tall as a mountain. Hold that posture. If you want to raise the heel up for balance purposes, you may do that, but the mountain still stands tall and firm and unmovable. The strength is centered at this point within ourselves. And from there, we go into what is known as Tadasana. Tadasana is also supporting the sky. And here is where we bring the feet together and the palms are interlocked, hands are interlocked, and raise up, the heel raised up. This is the palm tree pose. Sequoia pose, I call it because sequoia is a very tall tree. I call it a sequoia pose. Stand there. 3 breaths, almost every single time we do the 3 breaths. That gives the maximum benefit. The mountains bring rain, and the rain brings down from the mountain top into the valley. And that is done by the next practice, where we inhale and exhale first. And then turn on one side and go raise up. And the rains are coming down. As they come down and form the river, the streams and the rivers, they come down to the valley, bringing down all the important minerals and all the stuff that is there, very valuable things coming down. And as it comes down to the valley gets very fertile and grows a lot of good stuff. Same thing we repeat on the other side. Stretch, the heel is off on the back, stretch high as we can, and the stream coming down, forming the river, flowing into the ocean. This represents the ocean going down. So let's do it one more time on each side. And the streams and the rivers, these are all like ornaments for Mother Earth. just as the trees are. These are the ornaments of Mother Earth. Beautiful. This tremendous music that goes on with it. It's amazing. And from that, from the ocean now comes evaporates and forms a cloud. And so now we go to the cloud hands. This cloud hands is one of the commonest practices that happens in Qigong. And the clouds are the true source of life. If there were no clouds, there would be no life. Clouds are the ones who have the water circulation and rotation. And 1 square kilometer of a cloud weighs 1 million pounds. It's the heaviest thing on earth. It's not actually on the earth, but it's one of the heaviest because it contains so much of material. And if it was not for the clouds, we will not survive. Clouds also provide the protection from the sun rays. We talked about that. So practice the cloud hands. And after the clouds are done, now comes the balance. This is the balance. This is a true balance of yin and yang in the nature. Both earth as well as the heavens. And so we practice the balance, heaven and earth balancing. Earth and the heaven balancing. This is a Tai Chi practice. But it indicates that we are balancing the two forces of nature. And this way, compassion, love, and forgiveness, sustenance comes from the Qi, from the Yin, and solutions, creativity, all the rest of the stuff that comes, intelligence, all the positive attitude, movements, a lot of accomplishments that we do, the power that we create of the action comes from the Yang. Yang has the potential to move forward. And the two are completely balanced at this point. And once they are balanced, the father and the mother, these are combined. And now this actual Qigong circle is complete. It's balanced. That is when the father and the mother combine. That is when the child is born. And the child, we all came in because an element from the mother, an element from the father came together. And so we now become in a child pose. Go down into the child pose, all the way down to the Mother Earth. We were born, brought into this world, and we rise, we become a child pose. And here what we do is we have interlocked our hands. We sit as closely as possible, like you are in a mother's womb, and you are like extremely like a circle. So you put your head down, the hands in front of you, and the head, forehead very near, the nose very near the two knees, as much as possible. This is a child pose. Inhale and exhale. Relax your body completely. Three breaths. And as the child grows, it rises up slowly, coming up, and balances again. In childhood, rise up and go up and down these postures, again balancing the two yin and yang. A balanced growth during youth is very essential. And this practice represents our balanced growth. And as we come to the rise up, as you rise up with your foot forward, lean forward and rise and come up. And having gotten the yin from the earth, the yang from the heavens, and bringing them back together, bring them all to the front, and store them into the powerhouse, the lower dentate. The entire earth practice, therefore, involved the evolution of earth, went through all the various nature and elements that were present. We have captured within us. Spend some time meditating on this. And then we do the tree hugging. Hug the tree, hugging posture. This is extending gratitude, extending love, extending thanks and wonderful energy to the entire world, yourself, your family, and the whole universe. With whatever fruits we get, the fruits of action we don't own, we just give it up. Just like nature. Tree does not eat its own fruit. The river does not drink its own water. And therefore, the last portion of this is returning all the benefits down again to the earth. And that's the end. This is a little modification. In many times we do the prayer with the right hand fist, the power and the love. This manifestation of returning to the earth is very special for the salutation.